What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Everyday Struggle. It is our second episode of the week. I feel like we're finally back in the swing of things. I'm Nadeska, that's Akademiks. This is Wayno.
This is Wayno, and I have some questions for Akademiks this morning.
His new accessories.
No, I ain't gonna lie, man. This is how you know we made it, man. We got the brighter lights, the bright lights. We here, baby.
Yeah.
2020. What's up, Wayno? Well, Wayno, as soon as I show up to set, the hate descended on Wayno.
All right, let's not try to spin this. Let's just talk about.
Let's just calm this down. Let's just calm this down a minute. All right, so cool. I've seen Act with Nike Tech 1,000 times. Wait a second.
Nah, bro, let him get this one off.
I copped the rollie. Now he mad I copped the rollie.
No.
Is that a rollie, though?
Let's get to it. He got the Yeezys on. He's wearing Yeezy, you know. Ye has to be reborn. He has on the Nike Tech. He has on a North Face. You know, a Colts hat. I don't know when the last time you watched a Colts game.
First of all, I'm a Colts fan. That's a fact.
You really are?
Yeah.
Oh, Peyton Manning era?
Yeah.
I can't knock that.
And you can't like switch teams. So like
I can't knock that. But the biggest accessory of today is what the fuck is that on your wrist?
Man.
What's that?
Can we zoom in or not?
Rollie, man. Like, what's
With
up
the
with
new
you? You got your shit. I gotta get my shit blinged out.
Nah, you ain't gotta get. I just want to know what is this really big? Pause. Yeah.
It's looking nice, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I actually copped it off Amazon. I ain't gonna hold you.
Nah, it's a nice looking watch, man.
Yeah, it tells me the time, bro. Like, this is a nice little piece, but I don't need a like watch. But you know what? I'm kind of getting a little bit more fancy. See Wayno with his rollie. I ain't paying no $40,000 for a watch, though. A nice $100?
For free 2-day delivery?
No, you just gotta have a better outfit
Prime,
with your
of
watch,
course.
Akademiks. You can't wear a watch like that with that type of outfit.
Nigga, you got your, look at the outfit.
My outfit fits with my watch. I don't know what you. I don't know if you fucking. I don't know if you working out, if you diving, if you fucking.
If you're
if you going diving with the watch.
Construction site about to rob a nigga.
I don't know what's going on.
Gotta take a morning job.
I'm not gonna rob a person with a pink sweatshirt on, man. Come on.
I hope you guys missed
2020.
this. 2020 academic shit is different.
I don't know what the fuck this nigga's doing, but.
Yo, so yesterday, there are a lot of albums that we did not get to talk about, including Dreamville's new project, well, the deluxe version, actually, of Revenge of the Dreamers 3 Director's Cut. So we got 12 new songs, a couple of new features on here, including people like Black Reason and Vince Staples. Did you guys like the deluxe version?
Yeah, I like the deluxe version. The thing is like, all right, we seen in the rollout with how they did, you know, having everybody come through. It's tons of pictures, tons of video that was leaked of all these people being in all these sessions, and then you ask, like, where's these songs at? And I'm pretty sure they got way more songs than this 12 that they released. But for me, seeing them drop this at the top of the year, I think that Dreamville is gonna gear up to do the same shit, if not more shit than they did last year. Cole is probably gonna drop his album, right? It's called The Fall Off, I'm hearing.
And then JID just said he's finishing up his album.
JID is finishing up. I mean, I would love to hear my man Kaz again. Kaz had a really good project a few years ago. I think that they're just gearing up to drop and just stay consistent again. You know, for so long, I felt like Dreamville was just building the foundation. Like, they was just building the foundation, and now that they're here, they have no reason to let up. I mean, a lot of people was taking a backseat a bit, like, you know, like TDE. Not that they're not relevant, but they've kind of slowed down. You know, Dreamville's rising, same as like QC, same as Griselda, and I think that they just want to not let up. They're not gonna go anywhere. But overall, like, this was dope. It's good to see like Black on something. Smino, I'm getting more into Smino music, especially after you told me about it. You know, but JID with more heat. Like, I think that JID is gonna be like the marquee artist coming out of Dreamville. You know.
All right, so we got a fan question about this in a second, but yeah, you of course have been critical in the past, but I think last year you respected the moves, the momentum. What do you think about them following up with the deluxe version so early?
Yeah, I think they're just keeping the foot on the gas. Like they're not giving people a chance to like forget. Again, as Wayno said, the momentum they had and they built last year. So again, I am kind of expecting a big year from them. You know, like they've realized that there's a palette of music that they have like hit a home run with, and they're gonna keep putting music out rather than like, okay, cool, we dropped this and we'll be back whenever we're back. So I like this approach by them, and I want to see how that manifests into actually like, all right, cool, now we're ready for JID. Let's see what the rollout plan is with that. Let's see how Cole handles his project in regards to like other artists on Dreamville dropping. I think it's good. I think it's good.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting, yeah.
All right, so let's check out this fan question we have. We definitely know a lot more projects are coming, like Lil Baby also announced an album is on the way. So this question is, last year Dreamville had an amazing year in terms of record labels and exposure for some of their artists. What label do you guys expect will have a huge 2020? QC, perhaps TDE?
QC, like I think I ain't gonna lie, yo, and I've been saying it for a long time, but to me, Lil Baby's unstoppable. Like he's so good, and I think that the thing about Lil Baby is nobody brings up how good of a rapper he is. You know what I mean? Like a lot of the people who don't listen to his music think he's a mumble rapper. If you listen to him, this nigga can rap his ass off. I think QC is gonna do their thing. TDE, I'm looking for them to make a resurgence again with Kendrick coming back. You know, probably going on a tour. Also, I think like Griselda is gonna have a big year as well. Cause like Benny, he did drop, you know, the plugs I met, but that was only 7 songs. I see like they dropped their compilation project and they moving around, but I think like Benny's gonna try to make a splash as a solo artist this year. That's what I'm thinking. I mean, of course, not TD, Dreamville too, but I say QC is gonna have a monster year. Cause Culture 3 is supposed to be dropping.
The final in the series.
Yeah, the final chapter.
Yeah, I think QC's an easy pick. I can't really predict it for TD at this point. Like at this point, I don't know. Again, I'm still expecting a Kendrick album to drop. You know, I'm expecting another person from the camp to follow up.
Hopefully
Shit, I think we're also we're expecting a SZA album too.
Yeah,
right?
I think Reason is going. You know.
But I really feel like there's just some questions about the state of TD at this point, and like about the momentum and how they're gonna come in the next year. So I don't want to like predict that they're gonna have a huge year, and you never know. We might just get Kendrick and maybe SZA at the end of the year. Who knows? But I know QC, they're locked and loaded. I think last year, as crazy as it sounds, I felt like they did a lot of new artist introductions. So like their veteran artists, they kind of put back a little bit. Again, we didn't get a Culture album. We got solo albums by the trio. Now I think they're gonna come in just full force and just like knock everything down. Of course, they got Yachty coming back around. They got Baby, Culture 3. They're introducing new art. That's one thing they don't get enough credit for. They bring a new artist into the fold, and in 3-4 months, you almost think like, yo, this person's been around for a while. Because you realize that there are a few tapes in, and they catch one, and they're now like mainstream.
That's another thing too. I know people is gonna think that this is a sponsored opinion, but nah, seriously.
We don't do those here.
No, but people really believe that. But I'm gonna say so, like Yachty can rap too.
And
like,
he writes well. He's been writing some great songs.
Yachty, like,
You said that.
no, I'm dead serious. Like, Yachty can, like, he can rap. Because you know what it was? Like, for a long time, I never thought that Yachty couldn't. I just never really got into his music. And then, like, I started to, like, I didn't even get into it from his tapes. I just started listening to features that he had and shit. And it's like, I got a feature from one of my artists I work with Yachty on it. And it's like, the same lines that he say on this song, he got lines that, like, if a Jadakiss would have said it, it'd be, oh shit, he said that. But because it's coming from Yachty, it's gonna be received a certain way. And I know that might sound crazy, because I'm not comparing him, but I'm just saying, like, people don't pay attention to his ability because of his appearance, still. As far as, like, hip-hop purists and all them other motherfuckers that feel like they know everything. But for real, like, Yachty got bars. Like, he does have bars.
And also, I think he's just been severely underrated about his, like, actual care for the art. Just because, you know, again, in his past, when he made certain comments, people were like, well, you clearly don't care about this shit.
Right.
I think, you know, while he might have not been all the way in tune with history, he definitely cares about it. Because, again, I remember when he went out of his way to write lyrics saying, go back up and try to freestyle and try to prove people that, yo, I am, like, yo, I do care about it. I'm working on shit. I'm trying to get better. The first thing, at least at first, what you would knock about Yachty, and I even told him, it was like, hey, listen, you're saying some shit, but the delivery's off. And it's cool because, again, as you know, it's like, let's compare to basketball, one of the favorite things you like to talk about, right? It's like these dudes as rappers, they're getting drafted in high school. So they don't have all their mechanics right. They're still working on it while they're in the league, and now they're getting paid big money. Yachty, I felt like he's been working on it, like, ever since he got in the league, quote unquote. 2015, he's been working on his rapping. His delivery was a little bit off, even though he was trying to say a lot. I feel like now he's improved a lot. But I will say, because I'm one of those people who say, fuck all the niggas who just want to hear you rap. That's the Wayno type of niggas. Keep singing, nigga. Like, he dropped a preview recently, very melodic. I like that type of shit. I hope he continues with that. Because if you realize how he came in the game with songs like Cold Like Minnesota, One Night. You know, he was on Broccoli. I think getting into that almost that catch-22 where you're damned if you do, damned if you don't, he started rapping a lot and trying to prove himself. It lost some of the essence of what really made him great.
I say lastly too, like in 2020, we gotta stop holding rappers like to this standard of like what they grew up on, because everybody tries to make it seem like if you rap, then you can like the only way you can be in hip hop is if you grew up on certain shit, and the same shit that we grew up on is not the shit that these kids grew up on, and I see so much flack about that shit, and it's corny. It's corny.
By the way, I'm doing some very intense research on Lil Baby. He's jacking that he literally only started rapping like a year and a half ago. He raps too good for that.
Yeah.
I'm serious. Like,
Okay.
like I'm always weird at motherfuckers that they're like, yeah, I just started yesterday, but like you're the best in the world. I'm like, nah, chill. Not saying he's the best rapper in the world, but like he's pretty good at like his verses are pretty memorable.
Yeah, he's nice.
Always.
This album's gonna be good. All right, so the short, I guess, answer to that question, thank you for the deep dive, is big bets on QC this year in Dreamville. Also, I don't know if you guys ever heard Isaiah Rashad's album that he dropped. It was like 2016, The Sun's Tirade.
Yeah.
That was a really dope album. I like it, and I think last year he was previewing a few snippets, so he might also drop this year, which would be really dope from TDE. So hopefully. All right, another great project we just got was from Mac Miller. So he was obviously a big loss for the culture. His estate released his posthumous album called Circles on January 17th, along with an animated video for the lead single, which is called Good News. So it's 12 songs in total, mostly produced by Mac himself and John Bryan, if I'm saying that correctly. Also, his birthday just passed on the 19th. He would have been, I believe, 28 years old. So this is his 6th studio album. The last one we got before that was Swimming in 2018. How did you guys feel about this?
I feel like this was like in terms of, you know, comparing an album from an artist that's a posthumous album, you have to think about it differently, because you don't know if it was completely finished by the time the artist died, and you don't know if that's their whole vision or how much people are left to piece together things. And, you know, just like even reading from a lot of Mac fans, like they're really like praising John. I don't know if it's Brian or Brion.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
They're saying he did a really good job of putting this together, because this doesn't sound like some shit that they kind of put together just to milk the fact that he died.
Right.
And it sounds really well produced. His vocal sounds great, and honestly, I thought it was a good effort.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough when you get these albums. It's like, because I mean, Mac Miller, I listened to this album, and it's a few songs on there that I ran back a good 3-4 times. And I'm like, damn, it's like, it's a good project, but we can't even like fully, I feel like when an artist is not here, you really can't like fully enjoy the album, because there's so many other things that go into an album being great. You know, it's kind of like when Chainz passed away, I was like, damn, like Chainz had finally found his sound. Like he had finally figured it out. And it's like, damn, this shit is so good, but he's not here, so it's kind of bittersweet. But I definitely enjoyed this album. You know, I think Mac, when you look at his discography, he doesn't really have too many music that you question. Even when he was his, like not too much shit where you like, he fell off, or he didn't, this ain't what he used to do. It's like he kind of stayed in a certain type of space, and he moved at his own time. So I did enjoy this, and I think, you know, people should check it out, for sure.
It does feel like a little bit of closure for fans.
Right.
I did enjoy this project.
Right.
Okay, I think we also have one question for this. Everyday Struggle. I know you guys reviewed Eminem's album on, I guess that would be yesterday's episodes, but I wanted to get your thoughts on M dropping his surprise album on the day of Mac's Circles release. People online felt it was wrong of Eminem. Do you feel like people were just reading too much into this?
Yeah, niggas be doing too much. This is the thing, right? Like, of course, the idea would be like, everybody sees everybody's release dates, and everybody knows when everybody's dropping, and Eminem says, you know what? I'm gonna drop the same day as Mac. That's not the case at all. What happens is that when you turn your album in, there's a series of dates that they give you, and if you want to drop certain times, Mac is signed to where? Was he still through? Was he through Rostrum? Through somebody?
I'm not sure if he was still there anymore. Let me check.
I know that he had distribution somewhere, right?
Yeah.
But M is M still in the scope, right? M is still in the scope. So it's like, of course, they're not thinking like, okay, let's sabotage Mac's day. Like that, and that's the thing that people try to run with. Everybody gets the same series as days. If it's sometimes where you don't know, this nigga Drake, he probably has his release date already. It's gonna be a new up-and-coming artist that's buzzing, that's gonna drop the same day as Drake because he does not know. You know, and if you do get the information, you'll be like, all right, push my shit back a week or two. You know what I mean? But that was no setup. It's just everybody gets the same fucking dates.
Yeah.
You know?
That time, and Mac was just through Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers,
Time.
exactly. So
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's like, it was no setup for that. Like,
Yeah, it's tough when it comes to release dates, and there's no release date that an artist will just own by themselves. Like,
Right.
You got to realize like now music is about to pick up a little bit because we went through that dead period, at least from December into like mid-January. People are about to start dropping, and also like I could tell you now, I've talked to some artists who you would think that they wouldn't give a fuck about who drops around the time they do because they do good numbers by themselves, but shit, even talking to them about like dropping in the next like 6 weeks, they're like, yo, they have a date in mind, they don't know who else is dropping, they're just praying. Literally, the artists, they say, I'm just praying Rihanna doesn't drop on my day. Nobody knows when Rihanna's dropping.
Beyonce, like,
Yeah,
yeah,
because-
that shit could fall out the sky.
Exactly, because certain artists, they could just, a week out, yo, I'm dropping next week. You get me? And it's not that they just randomly select that date. M probably had that date for a while. He just was quiet about it.
Yeah, the music was already turned in. That's the thing. It's like, in order for an album to come out, you need a producer agreement for every single song. Every single record got to get cleared and paid for, and all these different, and especially with an Eminem album, there's tons of work that has to be done just for it to make that date. So the idea is that Eminem's just sitting on the music and he just like, yo, upload this shit to Apple Music and Spotify tomorrow. It doesn't work like that. So they've been planning the dates.
And we know Eminem, who's an artist who's always gonna sell. He doesn't need to compete
He
with anyone or do something crazy like that.
I think if M would have known,
He might have changed it.
that he might have changed it. Like he probably didn't know. Like
The only thing I understand from Mac fans is that like I remember his last 2 releases, I believe, he dropped on weeks that had heavy competition.
Yeah.
And even though his album did get his flowers in terms of people saying, yo, this is dope later on, it wasn't one of the most heralded albums during that week because there were other albums people were focusing on. But I gotta be honest, I think people are focusing on his album this week as well. So.
yeah, bad timing is bad timing though, cause I think that last album dropped when Travis Scott dropped. Right, it was like the same time.
Might have been. It was like August 3rd, 2018. Travis did drop around that time.
Yeah.
It was a hectic week.
It was a hectic week because Nicki dropped around that time too, right? Like, so it's like nobody plans that shit out. You just better hope that your shit goes through.
And plus, great albums only get better with time.
Right.
Even if it doesn't get the love in the moment.
Right.
So speaking of numbers and people who did not have to pray to get big numbers, Roddy Ricch has been crushing it. Aki, you want to take us through some numbers?
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. My man Roddy Ricch found a secret formula. Roddy Ricch, The Box, which I believe is probably one of the most unconventional number ones in a while. Because if you ask me personally, I don't know if this song sounds like a number one, but like it definitely is performing as a number one, because it is. It's been the second week at number one on the Billboard Hot 100. It's the first track Roddy ever got to be number one. And in his first week, it actually beat out Justin Bieber's Yummy, which debuted number 2. This week, Justin's song actually dropped to 10. Future and Drake, they even got beat out by Roddy Ricch on the Billboard Hot 100. Their song, Life is Good, debuted number 2 behind Roddy Ricch, which is the highest song Future ever had debut on the charts. So that Future-Drake collab, people still want to hear from them. And obviously the rollout, the video, the hype, and even just the song, it definitely was worth it because it debuted pretty high. So number 2 does pretty good. Right. And of course, Post Malone Circles, that's at number 3. But on the album chart, in a 6-week, Roddy Ricch, Please Excuse Me for Being Antisocial, which I'm not in love with that title still, but still, it's number 2,
it's accurate,
selling
though.
over 100,000 in 6 weeks. And if you kind of watch the trajectory of how Roddy Ricch's album is performing, if you remember to last year when we were like, talking about hip hop albums, that's how A Boogie's album was performing, where like it was doing better after its first week, and usually we don't see that normally. Selena Gomez, who was desperately trying to get her number one, she actually did get her number one with 112,000 units sold. And Moneybagg Yo, which, like for the street hood niggas, man, he's been holding it down and putting up some steady numbers. He did his highest first week ever, and he was number 3 on the Billboard 100, selling 66,000 copies. And by the way, M which just dropped, and also Mac Miller, M is expected to do between 300 and 325, and Mac is expected to do pretty much around 200,000, which that's big numbers.
I know we got a fan question. I got one quick question. Can I?
Yeah.
So do you think that, I think that like they should just put the streams instead of like the total numbers sold and pure sales, because like when I be looking at these numbers, yo, in the early 2000s, people sold way more than this. Like 112,000, like niggas was coming into the Billboard on like number 30 selling 112. Like now, like Selena Gomez, as big of an artist she is, she's
Number
doing
one.
Yeah, she's doing number one with 112,000. Like I remember Jadakiss had a bigger week than that, and he was in number one.
And she had a bundle.
Exactly. So I'm just thinking, like, should they just start posting, like, just go by the streaming numbers the first week?
I would agree with you, but then when it comes to like artists like M and J. Cole, it fucks it up because those are artists that get a lot of people like buying a project. So like I think almost like 40% of M sales is not even streams. It's like
For actual downloads,
they actually download
buying
the
the
shit.
download.
So, but I do agree with you. Like we do have to start getting a new metric where we kind of see what's actually getting these album sales.
Yeah, because you know what the tough thing about it is like the number 1 million in a person's mind means so much. So when you hear a kid say, yo, I got 1 million streams, I'd be like, yo, you ain't even knock on the door yet. You got 1 million streams. Like, that's not a lot. But 1 million sounds like a lot. But then when you look at the sales, like, you know how many streams you have to get 112,000 sales? Like, that's a lot. But my fault.
No, it's cool. We do have this fan question, like Wayno mentioned, but question for you guys. So before the holidays, I think right before Roddy dropped his album, I spoke to him and he was telling me how him and A Boogie, so we know they're both like not really good at being very active on social media, very laid back guys. He was saying that they've been having conversations with each other about trying to be more present this year for fans, just because the fans appreciate it. But clearly he didn't have to do all the extra promotion shit to do well with this project. Do you think that's like, you know, it's like a good sign for other introverts coming up?
Well, I don't think it works all the time, right? And I think the music really stood out and spoke for Roddy. And also, like, in a very clever way, Justin Bieber promoted the box. Like, you know, like, him going so hard, the culture just said, whoa, you're doing too much. And it's one of those things where the internet, like, backfires against, it's like the person who's responding the most is the most bothered.
Right.
The person who seems like they don't give a fuck, because you have, like, Roddy Ricch literally tweeting out, go listen to Justin Bieber, listen to Selena Gomez, and his song is, like, still number one.
Right.
And I think it's one of those things where, like, just culturally, we're like, yo, not only is the song dope, but we want to make sure the song performs. So like, I think that's interesting. I don't think that works all the time.
But the thing is, what I don't like about, I mean, that is dope. I'm happy that Roddy Ricch is winning, but if Justin Bieber's not doing all of that, are people, I mean, people are listening to The Box, and The Box is a dope song, but are people as eager to go stream it? And it's like, all right, we're going to do it just so that you beat, like, people actually like the song, but I feel like it's people that's doing the shit just so that he don't win or that she don't win. Not the mere fact that it's a really fucking dope record.
Which is also surprising because I feel like culturally we fuck with Bieber, right? So of all the people to decide we're gonna fight for this.
I ain't gonna lie, he looked weak. Like that shit looked weak. And it's Selena Gomez. Like for them to be such massive, big pop stars, these is pop stars.
Yeah.
It just goes to show you the power of hip hop culture. Because we talking about two of the biggest, like, it's places that Roddy Ricch might still walk to where he might not be recognized as a Justin Bieber or Selena Gomez.
Yeah.
And that's just by everybody, not like just with rap. But they are going out of their way to say, hey guys, I really like the #1 album. We're going to, I was like, Target? Y'all going to fucking Target and Walmart?
They're also exes, so maybe they were competing. I would like to think that the song would have still did really well without that, but let's keep this train of thought. Let's just check out the fan question because it ties in directly.
Hey Akademiks, Wayno and Nadeska. What do you guys think about Justin Bieber trying to fluctuate his streaming numbers to get Yummy to #1, while the Black King, Roddy Ricch, currently holds the #1 spot for his single, The Box? I personally think Justin Bieber is such a big artist that it's just weird that he's using his, you know, big ass fan base to get that shit to #1.
The Black King. Yo, thank you. I wish we would get more female fan questions on the show. This is really dope.
Yo, to be honest though, and that's what I'm saying, like, we're in a very weird age. like with all due respect to this young lady, like, that's exactly what you're supposed to do.
That's exactly what you're supposed to do, exactly.
So if I have a big fan base, everybody, let's figure out how to Like, mobilize all of y'all to get me to number one.
But the thing you do, go ahead.
But now with the internet, it's like, really, you get penalized for it. Remember, Chris Brown he gave instruction to his fans. And shoot, I mean, well, Nicki didn't do it directly, but like her fan pages was given instructions like, yo, hey, this is how we gotta get the streams up. And in reality, like, we look at that as such a bad thing. Like, yo, overt promotion is now seen as desperation.
Yeah.
So you're looking at this, and what is Bieber supposed, by the way, and like, I was watching people be like, oh my God, Selena's so desperate. She's going to the store to buy her own album? Duh! If it was me, I'm in the store too. I would have swiped every copy.
Ain't that many fucking copies in the store to make a difference. Like, that's the only thing. It's not that many copies. Like,
but you know why she's doing it? She's doing it to say, hey,
yeah,
listen.
to rally the troops.
Hey, yeah, I know y'all fuck with me. If I could go to the store, y'all could go to the store too. But it shows that we're in this age of like, listen, if you're doing too much, it's corny as shit.
Yeah, but because you know what it was? The whole instruction packet, he did the video, and then the next swipe was go to Apple Music, Spotify, then if you're not subscribed, press on it and click on it and just play it all day. You want to know how to get a #1 record with Justin Bieber again? Put Roddy Ricch on it. Go get
Get him on their yummy
I do have a question for that because because if Bieber doesn't do all that,
right?
Does Roddy get the #1?
But that's what I was saying.
Okay, no, we gotta answer the question.
It was still doing really well.
It was still doing really well, but I feel like that was like that's the promotion that you can't pay for. That's the science and the numbers that you can't, like, no algorithm really taps. It's like, that was just a moment where he's like, yo, all right, I want y'all to play my shit, and everybody like, hold up, this motherfucker trying to take the Black King Roddy's #1. Nah, we going to listen to the box, right? And people kept doing it just so that Justin Bieber wouldn't win. But I'm saying, like...
But did that also make the album #1? Because then the project itself was doing well. It wasn't just the box.
Wait, I just want people to know, and I said this shit before this shit came out, that Roddy Ricch was going to have one of the biggest albums, because I got a chance to hear it before it came out, and he had the music. But that's what I want people to focus on, the music. Because then once we start, next year, when we talking about who's better, this person, I'm going to be like, well, the numbers say this. I'm going to be like, yo, but the music is the driving force. It's not like he's like just has the box. It's a project full of good music on it.
Yeah, no, I want to salute to my man Bird over there. That's the manager.
Yeah, shoot to my man Dallas Martin too.
And the reason why is that, like, I love, like, the news thing. Like, I always look at, like, somebody hit me randomly, and I'm telling this random story because it kind of applies. They're like, yo, why you be promoting, like, Young Boy so much? It was like, yo, he must be cutting you a check. And I was like, Young Boy doesn't promote his own music. And it's weird because his shit is always doing so well. The new promotion is almost not doing too much.
Right.
Right? Or even the promotion by, like, still, like, barely even seeming like you care. Roddy Ricch definitely cared. As soon as I posted Bieber, like, doing all that bullshit, 20 minutes later, Roddy Ricch tweeted out, go stream Bieber's song.
Right.
I posted Selena Gomez, I kid you not, I watched it.
Yeah.
So he's watching the shit. He's just knowing how to take advantage of, like, the current tide and not being just tone deaf and just kind of like, okay, just kind of going with the flow. And I think that goes into having a good team and also just realizing where you are and not doing too much.
Right.
All right, one more fan question for you guys on this topic. So Roddy did drop, I believe it was mid-December. Remember when 21 dropped I Am Greater Than I Was? I believe that was like very, very end of the year. So this question, hey Everyday Struggle, wanted to get y'all thoughts on artists who drop albums during holiday breaks. Is it the right move for an artist, being that people often check out during the holiday season?
This just goes to show the person's age that's saying it. Now, seriously, because, I mean, the fourth quarter was always for heavy hitters. I mean, like...
Fab drops late, too. But does it depend on the artist, though?
It definitely depends on the artist, but you have to train your audience as well. I mean, like, of course, Jay-Z, right? Jay-Z always dropped in the end of the year. Like, his albums never came out in the summer. His albums always came in the end of the year, and then it was the soundtrack for the next year. Nas used to drop end of the year a lot. Like, DMX used to drop end of the year. Heavy hitters, like the people who sell the most, usually drop in the end. That goes to show you how good of an artist you are, because when you dropping, when everybody's thinking about Christmas and Thanksgiving, and motherfuckers are still messing with your music, and it pushes through, and you getting #1s and all of that, that shows how good of an artist you are. Because an up-and-coming artist, you can't just drop end of the year. It's a good time to drop if you built like that, but if you're not, you're gonna get exposed for it. So I think that it doesn't hurt.
I agree.
That's it?
Yeah, no, I do.
It's great. The shortest response of all time.
I mean, end of the year, like, you have to be a particular artist to drop
Yeah.
in. I don't think, I understand that this person's in terms of age, in trying to like guesstimate why the end of the year might be bad. But I do think, regardless of what you said, which is 100% true, I think the new narrative now is becoming like, yo, if you got music that could sustain for two months, and you're gonna have a little sweet spot of 2 months of no big releases, just based on the industry, that's when you drop. You feel me? So, I mean, from 21, A Boogie last year as well. Now we're watching Roddy Ricch. Like, his album is kind of having legs because of that.
Okay. All right, so more music for you guys. We're going to run through some singles that dropped over the past few weeks, starting with Future featuring Drake. Life is Good, already a big record for them. This is their first collab since Blue Tint in 2018. It's going to be on Future's upcoming album. Fan question, wanted to know what y'all think of this. Is this the best collab from Drake and Future? Where do you guys rank it amongst their songs together?
I rank it as one of like the more better ones, but like, I ain't gonna lie, aside from the video, Drake's part is good, but it just, like, to me, I don't even listen to Drake's part. I go straight to Future's part. And Drake doesn't have a bad, like, his shit is not bad. It's just, it's a slow build up to really hear what you want to hear, which is Future's part. I wish Drake would have got on that beat prior, but like, it is a dope song, but I just go straight to Future's part every time.
So wait, in their top 5 or not?
I don't know if it,
Not that.
I don't know, yo. Like,
Okay.
we gotta give it some time.
Okay.
Cause you know what it is? It just came out. I gotta see them perform it. Like, I seen Drake and Future perform Jumpman before. You know what I mean? I've seen them do Grammy before. You know what I mean? Like, I've seen them do like certain songs where you like it just shows how big of an impact it has, and you gotta give it time. The thing is like the build up on this song is so slow for Drake that by the time it gets to Future, it's just kind of confusing. But I still like it as one of their better records.
All right. Just
Top 5 record from both of them in terms of collab. I like, it reminds me and it ranks around Digital Dash. The only thing with this record, as Wayno alluded to, is that you kind of feel like, well, there's a beat change, clearly, but it feels like they recorded it because the pace of their verses are different. Feels like it was 2 different songs just put together, right? I do believe the video explains that.
Right.
And by the way, salute to Director X for that video. Video is dope.
Yeah.
And I feel like the video kind of makes the vibe switch, like, really, really cool.
Right.
And honestly, like, at first when I heard it, I'm like, damn, I don't like no song where the nigga just starts talking in the middle, which Future did.
Right.
But it worked. And I do think it's one of the better songs that they've collabed on recently.
Yeah, I fuck with that.
All right, so our next one, Rich the Kid had a little bit of a run a couple years ago. Don't necessarily feel like he kept up that momentum, but he does have a new track featuring Youngboy NBA. It's called Money Talk. They last worked together on 4 Keeps, which came out last year. Is this the one?
I actually like, sidebar, I actually like his song with Quavo a little bit more. This one is cool. Like, it's cool, but I like the other record with Quavo more than I like this one. I mean, it's cool though. You know?
Yeah, I think I like a record that I think Rich the Kid has with I think it's Fabio Foreign currently.
Yeah,
I like that record right now more than this one. I will say that I think Rich the Kid is in a very interesting spot, and we've seen a lot of rappers go through this spot because he was hot with Plug Walk, and there was an album. It was before the last album, right? Yeah, that was the album that, you know, I used to call him the Fourth Amigo, and like he became like a star on his own. And then the other album happened, but then in between that, he had a lot of issues with like his label. Like, he's calling them out, saying they don't want to be there, this and third. They want money, they won't let him drop music. Now he's kind of come, and I felt like he cooled off a bit. Now he's trying to heat shit back up, dropping a lot of tracks, doing a lot of collabs. And I don't feel like anyone has had that, like, oh shit, Rich the Kid is back. You feel me? So it's cool. I definitely wouldn't be like, yo, this the one.
Okay, but you guys just named 2 other tracks, so let's see, maybe one of those heats up.
Right.
All right, how about 2 Chainz and Future, Dead Man Walking?
I think 2 Chainz is kind of in the same position too. I think 2 Chainz is true.
You actually like the album that he dropped last year. I don't know if because it came so early in the year that it just kind of went quiet, but I thought it was dope.
My thing with 2 Chainz, I feel like it's kind of out of sight, out of mind with him. And you know, like after, you know, he's gone through his run and his peak, it's kind of like, yo, how much, I don't think he's on the scene a lot. And then sometimes the records he's coming with is hit or miss. And on paper, this is a hit, right? Because you see Future and 2 Chainz, but then you listen to the record and you're
it's
like.
It's not undeniable though.
Yeah, it's exactly. And the thing about with rap and the thing about music is that you always remember the feeling when you do get it right. And you remember the feeling of when 2 Chainz had the undeniable hits. And not a wax song, but it's not doing it for me.
Okay, fair enough. Let's see, Stunna for Vegas featuring Da Baby and Lil Baby. Do that.
Lil Baby with the fucking best verse on that shit. Nah, man, I ain't gonna front. I've been fucking with him, but I'm on a bandwagon now. I don't care. I'm on a bandwagon.
Baby,
that
he
nigga,
rapping like a motherfucker.
That nigga can rap. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. If you think I'm lying, go listen to that shit and then listen to his other shit. Like that nigga go hard.
I remember one of the Everyday Struggle Awards we're going for, and it was verse of the year, and I said, bro, if we don't get Lil Baby, I forgot on what song
it was. Days. What's the joint with him and Gunna?
Yeah. I think it was Solar Days.
It was Solar Days.
If we don't fucking nominate this shit, this dude is flowing. Yo, we really got to give it up to Lil Baby. Like, he's literally in a pocket where every time you hear a verse, he's wowing you.
Right.
And you could tell he's taking this shit, like, really serious. He knows, like, everything he says, or there's no, like, mail it home verse where people be like, yo, all right, he's just, like, rap to rap. Right. And he's outshining a lot of people. By the way, you know, Da Baby's on fire. I think Stunna for Vegas, this is a joint, but I still do feel, it's my personal opinion, that I always said, if you stand in another man's shadow too much, you'll never get your shine. And I do believe, because of his close association to Da Baby, that he isn't getting some of the accolades and the respect that he should get, because like, they're gonna see a song like that and they'll be like, yo, let's go check out, it's like Da Baby and Lil Baby featuring Stunna. And I think over time that will change, but I think that's more of like what he needs to do, but the song's good.
How y'all feel about this new Lil Baby track? Do I even have to ask?
Oh,
no. Something to prove?
Yo, this what I'm saying.
It's fire.
This the joint I was listening to. I'm like, damn, yo, this nigga, like, for real, that's the one. Like, you know how everybody has that one, like I said, I've been listening to his shit, but that one joint where you know, like, they really arrived, like that they hit, not to hit a stay. I'm using the wrong fucking terms, but this is one of the joints where I was like, yo, this motherfucker could rap his ass off, for real. And I think that people are not paying attention to it based on his singles. Like the same way how I said, like, people don't pay attention to Yachty's music based on his appearance. People, because he has like these big singles that go in a club and all of that shit, it's not enough talk about him rapping. I mean, it's not enough talk about him rapping. Like,
I do actually think people are paying attention to the singles. I think the song Whoa It did really well, actually. And, you know, I think this song, the great thing about Lil Baby, and I compare it to the songs that dropped that week, he dropped on the same week when Drake and Future dropped Life Is Good. And honestly, I felt his shit was going crazy. You know, like, honestly, this is how I liked different parts or different whatever. I said, oh shit, Drizzy kinda, he's singing, he's doing his thing, right? And then I'm like, damn, Baby going crazy on something to prove. And then I got on to the Future verse. I'm like, this nigga Future just really snapped. But in reality, this is why you gotta give Baby credit. You drop a song like that, which is your second single of your upcoming album, and yo, he ain't relying on features. He ain't throwing niggas on his shit like, yo, hey, Travis, come give me the hook.
And he can get a feature from everybody.
Yeah, like he's not that guy, and you know, you got to give him respect. I feel like he's having his moment, and honestly, I think we're seeing the numbers starting to manifest because Whoa did good. Something to prove, of course, it wasn't a top 10 song like, you know, like Life Is Good, but that they have star power.
Yeah.
I think the music he's making, because of how hot it is gonna last.
Right.
He
At
says
least
it on
last
this, right?
4 albums.
He's trying to be one of the greatest. Yo, we don't have a date yet, but he says My Turn is coming in February. That's real soon. January is almost over, so that's really something to look
One more
forward to.
week left.
Yeah. All right, shall we move on to Big Facts or BS, our first one of the year, courtesy of Lil Durk. The internet is a new version of the streets, just more snitching. Big Facts or BS?
Big facts. The streets and the internet, they run synonymously. Like I remember, if you was on a computer, at certain times you was looked at as a nerd or a geek, or like you wasn't in the streets or something. Everybody that's street is on a laptop, on an iPad, on their phone, going live. Yeah, the snitching is them telling on themselves. I think like people just have this addiction to constantly let everyone know what they're doing, what they're wearing, how they're eating, how they live, how they parent, everything. And it's like, you know how people used to always say, oh man, don't put your information in there. Somebody take your information. Niggas is giving up all the information. Like for real. Like I mean, we're really living in our own life Truman Show. Everybody's like wanting to have the camera on them at all times. So the internet, that runs into the streets and other things. So yeah, because people is going to jail for shit that they do in the streets off of what they post on the internet.
I was a little confused and a little fucked up by him even saying this because like when he says the internet is the new version of the streets, I look at it, I'm like, yo, the internet has so much different shit and a lot of bullshit on it. Like you identify, when someone says the streets, you think of that gritty, hood type of tough mindset or tough type of people. And when you think about the internet, you don't really think about that. But then
we
when
ain't
you
talking about shopping on Target here.
No, I know. But then when you think about like kind of just how things play out, whether it's people beefing, usually about 80 to 90% of the people who are beefing, quote unquote, in the streets, they let you know on the internet they're beefing as well. Usually they show you what's going on. And he's kind of right. It's a lot more just like people. It's not even snitching, I think, well, you could call it snitching. I think it's just because it's the internet, you inevitably just give out information that would have been just kept in a smaller social circle. So I would have just told you like, yo, Wayno, I just did this, except I put it on my whole Instagram post and my Instagram story, and everybody saw it.
Everybody, so that's
including the cops who were taking notes. Like, you just did what?
But that's the addiction that people have, is to be seen, to be heard at every moment. And think about, I remember like when I was a kid, if a person was on the news because they seen somebody fall, it was a big thing. Like, yo, they on the news, they on TV. Now everybody's on TV because they have a TV in their hand at all times. So I think like that's a lot of people's like their version of fame. You know what I mean? Like you can create fame. Some people create fame. They don't want money. They want the fame. Like they actually create fame by doing this or telling their business and that's the problem. You ever seen that meme that says, people be saying, mind their business, shit, I'm on season 3 of your bullshit. Like it's, because people are public with relationships and then they break up and then they talking about it and then you like, I don't even know this motherfucker, but I know everything about him. It's that addiction, you know what I mean? Like, we're really robots.
Wow, you said people would choose fame over money. That's crazy.
They do. No,
fame
absolutely.
Without money is some bullshit.
No, people definitely want more notoriety. They want more likes. They want more attention than because if you think about it, you should be going to attain whatever, goals you want to have to make money, be rich, whatever. But motherfuckers is just going for the likes.
Internet like really appeals to the vanity in everyone, and like, I'm always impressed by like, you see, someone's like unknown random person wins the lottery, does not want no one to know who they are.
Right.
I feel in this age, it's like once you get the cash, you're like, but nobody knows I'm that nigga.
Which is great, actually.
I'm telling you.
It's better that way.
What?
No, it's like, no, it's a psychological thing.
It is.
No, this is literally a psychological thing. I'm gonna tell you how much it's a psychological thing. Somewhat, and again, not in terms of like really criminality and shit like that. I'm telling you, when I first started popping off on YouTube, and I'm getting big checks, I'm like, oh shit, this is mad lucrative.
Confirmed.
No.
All right, now I'm gonna search.
No. I'm really broke when it took it all back. Anyway, I remember walking through the mall and I was like, yo, nobody know who I am. I kid you not. And I've always said, I think it's a cycle that people go through where like, yo, of course you want to have the validation of having sometimes the riches or whatever is people like, yo, that's Wayno. And I'm not saying it's for everyone, but it depends on what you care about. Yeah. Like,
it's okay to want respect, right? There's also respect, and then they just want to be wildly famous. Yeah,
sometimes you want notoriety. Sometimes you're like, yo, I just want people to know that I'm that guy.
Not I, said the cat.
Yeah, bro, you guys can keep all the fame. I'll take all the money. That'd be good. That'd be good. Just trying to go diving with these sharks. We gotta go, though.
We gotta go.
It's easy to say when you already kind of have the fame.
When you can look in the mirror
Don't
like
make
that.
Fucking face at
For
me,
real.
Bro. Don't make that face at me. Yo, guys, we appreciate you sending all the fan questions. Keep sending those. You know where to find us. We're on Twitter at Everyday Struggle with 2 G's, and we'll see you here tomorrow on Everyday Struggle.